They've got a whole host of returning guys. I familiarized myself with them looking back, and they didn't have a single senior last year, and they return a lot of guys that earned all conference honors, and they're a deep program. Does that help you guys out in the fact that you know a little bit more about a team that has so many guys that you saw a lot of last year?
Well, that's just it. The fact that they're all back this year after last year for them, I don't know if it helps us out, but we're certainly familiar with their lineup and their players, and we've seen them a lot through the years in the spring and the summer, and had the opportunity to see them play up at Mountainside this year when we were there for the tournament. They were there as well. So, yeah, we've seen them, and, yeah, we know who their lineup is and how they go about their business. And
from here, you know, it's always a fun adventure when we go out on the road. As we get ready for the matchup, let's take a look at your starting lineup for the Roseburg Indians, led by head coach Troy Thompson in his 21st year with the program. 13-3 on the season, 6-2 in conference play, and Roseburg has won their last two games, a sweep over Willamette on Saturday. Leading things off, back in the lineup after 4 games absent, it's Austin Takahashi, who will be the starting pitcher for Roseburg today. He will lead things off for the Indians. Along with that, you've got center fielder Eli Jacobs back in the number 2 spot in the lineup card. Jace Wilder back after missing the doubleheader over the weekend in right field batting third. Evan Corbin, the first baseman, will bat cleanup, followed by Parker Burke, the catcher, batting 5th. Brooks Avery, the shortstop, will bat in the 6th spot, followed by Jordan White, the third baseman. Batting 8th, playing at second base is Noah Fisk, and rounding out the starting 9 is Hunter Fullerton in left field. That is a look at today's starting lineup for the Roseburg Indians as they get ready to take on the North Medford Black Tornado. On the mound for North Medford will be a right-hander, Aiden Horsley. Horsley will get the baseball to start out today's ball game. Horsley, a senior, first-team All-League outfielder last year for the Black Tornado, has committed to go play at Lower Columbia for his collegiate baseball next season. We do have the video stream up and running at 541radio.com. Here's our fingers crossed that everything continues to go that way the rest of today's ball game. Thought we had it all good going into today's matchup, and of course, right as we get going, that's when we see things start to have some technical difficulties. Austin Takahashi will lead things off for Roseburg. He's missed 4 games, was dealing with a leg injury that kept him on the sideline, so his first game back, we'll see how things go. First pitch swinging from Horsley, hits a bounding ball to Johnny King, the second baseman, and we're underway as the first pitch results in a ground out for the Indians. That brings up Eli Jacobs. Jacobs, the center fielder, took over in the cleanup spot for Takahashi when he was in the dugout and out of duty. First pitch swinging for Jacobs is fouled away. It is a blustery day here in Medford. The wind has been blowing in from left field, or it's been blowing kind of out of right center field across that left field foul line. So it's been kind of circling around as the 0-1 pitch to Jacobs is high for a 1-1 count. My phone says 50 degrees at the moment. There is a threat of maybe a few raindrops coming up here in the next half hour. We will keep our fingers crossed that doesn't happen. There's a breaking ball high and inside, a 2-1 count. Temperatures 50 degrees feels generous. Let's see what the feels like temperature says. Feels like 47 is a bit more accurate. Wishing I had put a few more layers on. The 2-1 from Horsley is high for a 3-1 count. The wind really just bites right through any extra layers. And to be honest with you, it is April 18th. It's tax day, everybody, and I did not expect to still have my winter jacket out. The 3-1 delivery from Horsley hits the outside corner for a called strike against Jacobs. And Eli will dig back in, has the full count after fouling off the first pitch. Got 3 straight outside the zone from Horsley. The big righty will fire in. That pitch is fouled up and out of play back behind home. And it stays a 3-2 count for Eli Jacobs. Jacobs comes in. He had a hitting streak going into the weekend against Willamette that came to an end, but he's been hitting well this season. In the 2 spot, the 3-2. Breaking ball, strike 3 called. And down looking goes Eli Jacobs. That has been a bit of a bugaboo for Roseburg this season. The strikeout numbers have been higher than they would like to see. Over the weekend against Willamette, 7 in game 2, 12, and make that 11 in game 1, but they did get wins in both of those games. Jace Wilder back into the lineup card after being sick over the weekend, had to miss the games out with Willamette. He took the first pitch inside for ball 1. Horsley out of his windup, the 1-0 pitch, fastball fouled away. Feel like you can't quite hear all the ambiance of the field here, but that's also because the wind is just blowing right into us. Getting a lot of wind noise on those microphones. A strike on the outside corner. Looked like maybe a bit of a change up there out of Horsley. Gives Wilder a 1-2 count with 2 away and nobody on here to lead things off in the first inning. Breaking ball. Wilder able to get a piece of the curveball. Behind the plate, Jeremiah Robbins, the battery mate for Aiden Horsley. We'll get you all caught up with all the defensive alignment for the boys in red here today. That's North Medford. 1-2 count for Jace. Swings through the breaking ball, dropped the speed on that one, did Horsley, and he will get back-to-back strikeouts to finish off the first inning. 3 up, 3 down, no runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base for Roseburg. We go to the bottom of the first. North Medford coming up against Austin Takahashi in a scoreless ballgame on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web.
Bottom of 1, scoreless ball game. It'll be Johnny King to lead things off for the Black Tornado, the second baseman for head coach Kerry Curtis and this North Medford squad. It'll be King and then Aiden Horsley, the pitcher, followed by Jeremiah Robbins, the catcher, to lead things off here in the first inning against Austin Takahashi. First pitch swinging, a ground ball to shortstop, snagged by Brooks Avery across the diamond to retire King as we are underway in the bottom of the first. Leadoff man for both teams, swinging at the first pitch for a ground out up the middle. One down, Aiden Horsley, the pitcher, stands in for the Black Tornado. North Medford coming in first place right now in the Southwest Conference is the first pitch. Opposite field for Horsley behind the high flat fastball, and it goes right down the line to Evan Corbin at first, who takes it to the bag himself. There's quickly 2 away on just 2 pitches for Austin Takahashi. Talk likes to work quick. This is a little faster than I would have anticipated. Jeremiah Robbins, the catcher, will step in with 2 down and nobody on base. Breaking ball is high, and Robbins will see more pitches than anyone before him after the first 2 batters ground out on the first pitch of their at-bats. 2 away, the 1-0 pitch from Takahashi. Softly lined towards right field, drifting towards the foul line, and it will go foul for Robbins down that first base side. He'll be back at the box with a 1-1 count. Takahashi mentioned he's been on the shelf for a couple of games. Back into the rotation and had a good time here in this big game coming up for Roseburg. He is 1-1 on the season, 18 innings worked, 2.33 ERA, 12 strikeouts, 6 walks in those 18 innings. As 1-1 to Robbins is a called strike at the knees on the outer half. Jeremiah Robbins, the catcher, returning second team all-conference selection last year for the Black Tornado. Just a junior, feels like he's been at the varsity level for ages. 2-2 count. This was a young squad in North Medford last year, did not have a senior on their roster. 2-2 pitch, breaking ball just a bit up. Behind the plate, Parker Burke, the battery mate for Takahashi, trying to see if he could pull that one in and frame it at the top of the zone. Takahashi quickly into his windup, gets a foul ball back to the netting behind home as Robbins stays alive with the 3-2 count. Roseburg wearing the black tops here today on the road at North Medford. We've got color on color. 3-2 pitch. And the breaking ball carries a bit far outside for Takahashi, and he'll issue a 2-out walk to Jeremiah Robbins. So 1 on with 2 down. The cleanup man is Frankie Ritigliano, the shortstop. So we do get a courtesy runner. Taking over at first for the catcher will be Marcus Moore. So a man at first base runner of the ball game. Ritigliano, line drive, past a diving Noah Fisk at second base. Up to second goes Moore. That's all he'll get out of the base hit by Ritigliano going opposite field. Noah Fisk did everything he could to try and get in front of that ball, but he lays out, and it's just outside of his reach. Out to right field for Ritigliano. A base hit for the Black Tornado keeps the first inning alive. 2 away. Kellen Willer, the first baseman, will stand in. Runners at first and second. Breaking ball in the dirt for the first pitch to Willer. Willer feels like a new name on this year's team. He is a junior, playing at first base. He takes a strike on the outside corner. 7 returning all-conference selections for North Medford this year, so really shouldn't be much of a surprise that the Black Tornado sitting at the top of the conference standings. 1-1 for Takahashi, and he just misses the outside corner. Can't get the call there against Willer, the 5-hitter. Wind currently blowing out towards left field, from right field towards left field. There's a ball inside fouled away. And Kellen Willer has himself a 2-2 count. It is cold, so you're probably going to hear the sniffles throughout the game. My apologies. I try not to have that happen, but when it's working its way to the mid-40s for your current temperatures, that it's cold and you can't really help it. 2-2 count for Takahashi, trying to wrap things up, and he will. Gets Willer to strike out, looking to finish off things in the bottom of the first. For North Medford, they get 2 runners on, but can't do anything with it. No runs on 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on base. We're through 1. It's scoreless between Roseburg and North Medford on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
From a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to. By hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations. Top of the Hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Top of the second inning, today's game brought to you by Dr. Alanson Randall, Family and Cosmetic Dentistry. Visit drrandall.com, or you can give them a call at 541-378-6694. Swing and a miss on the first pitch to Evan Corbin, who will lead things off for Roseburg in a scoreless ball game. Aiden Horsley will miss low and outside, a 1-1 count. Aiden Horsley last year against Roseburg, he pitched in 1 game, went 5 2/3 innings. He took a 6-5 loss as he fires a 1-1. Corbin fouls it away down the third base side. Pitched 5 2/3, gave up 6 hits, 6 runs, 3 walks, 2 strikeouts in a 6-5 loss against Roseburg back on April 9th in 2022. Another foul ball for Corbin to stay alive against Horsley here. Trey Newman and Frankie Rutigliano, the two pitchers that threw against South Medford in the crosstown rivalry over the weekend. As a breaking ball carries inside for Horsley. 2-2 for Corbin. Evan Corbin, coming off of a big day against Willamette, was 4 for 8 with a run scored, 3 RBI and a double. But he swings through strike 3 in his first at-bat here today. 1 away. That's the third strikeout for Horsley. And it brings up Parker Burke, Roseburg's catcher. Roseburg softball happening in the field back behind us here as Burke swings after the first pitch. Fortunately, their scoreboard not as visible as what we saw at Willamette High School, where we were able to keep tabs on it. But that is happening. They're playing a game over there against the North Medford Black Tornado. Ball fouled up in the air. Will get well out of play for Burke, and he's got himself an 0-2 count. North Medford softball falling out of the top 10 in the latest coaches rankings that are put together by OSAA. So not a top 10 battle for Roseburg there, but still nonetheless a good team in North Medford. 0-2 pitch here for Parker Burke. Breaking ball is inside. There's a lot of movement on that pitch. It looked up near the eyeballs, finished near the belt buckle, but comes in inside from Horsley. Can't get Burke to chase on the 0-2 pitch. Fire an off-speed pitch outside this time. Missing there. North Medford coming in at 7-1 in conference play. They're in the top 10 in the latest coaches poll at number 10. There's a 2-2 swung on and missed. And that is the fourth strikeout in the game. And already only 5 batters at the plate for Roseburg. So Horsley is feeling like he's got his A stuff here today. Brings up Brooks Avery, who also had a nice day against Willamette when Roseburg won 6-4 and 10-0. He swings at the first pitch for strike 1. Avery, a junior, has had a pretty nice first season at the varsity level for Roseburg. Went 3 for 7 in that weekend doubleheader. Scored twice, had 4 RBI, did have a double against the Wolverines. His 0-1 pitch. Line towards center field, but it goes right to Trey Newman, not playing very deep. He comes in to make the catch and to retire this side. So Roseburg unable to do anything here in the second. 3 up, 3 down once again. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We go to the bottom of the second. It's a scoreless ball game on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM at 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
In baseball, home plate is always 60 feet, 6 inches from the mound. But in life, sometimes your home plate needs to move. If you're planning to move, contact BTB Moving for help. BTB Moving is a labor-only company offering statewide services such as packing and unpacking, loading and unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. BTB Moving is an affordable veteran-owned company. Call 541-315-0122 for help with your next move. BTB Moving for all your moving needs.
The center fielder, number 16, Trey Newman.
Today's Roseburg baseball game is sponsored by Abby's Pizza, a legendary pizza tradition. Trey Newman, Davis Carr, and Colton Morgan, your 3 batters due up here in the second for North Medford. First pitch swinging for Newman is a line drive to center field to start things off against Austin Takahashi. Second hit for the Black Tornado in today's ball game. Man on to lead things off here in the second. Davis Carr, the right fielder, will dig in. He is a left-handed batter. Carr will hit with a runner on at first. Squares to bunt and pops that one foul towards his own dugout down the third base side. North Medford in that third base dugout. Roseburg on the first base side. Davis Carr, second team All-League selection last year in the outfield for this North Medford team. He'll take strike 2, so that might help Roseburg relax a little up the middle to see if they can turn that 2 around second base. They were playing in, expecting the sacrifice bunt out of the lefty. Carr stands back in with the 0-2 pitch, high and away. Joey Keyran here with you on a blustery day in Medford. That American flag out in left field behind the scoreboard has not stopped waving. 1-2 pitch from Takahashi fouled down the left field side for Moore. For Carr. North Medford coming off of a split in a rivalry matchup against South Medford on Saturday. Won 2-0, lost 5-1. Pitch just up, taking. Carr able to lay off that pitch. Pulled back his check swing just in time. The 2-2 is low. And Carr has worked his way back into the at-bat. North got great pitching in game 1 out of Trey Newman. Went actually to extra innings. North scoring twice in the top of the 9th inning to pull off that 2-0 victory. As a ground ball gets through the left side. Going opposite field for Davis Carr. And there's runners at first and second to start things for North. Nobody out. It brings up the 8-hitter Colton Morgan, the starting third baseman. And believe it or not, yes, another returning all-conference selection. Second teamer last year. Morgan bats an RBI opportunity. He squares to bunt, but fouls it away. Now, this has definitely been an area that has needed work for Roseburg throughout this season. Trying to protect with runners on base and nobody out in these bunting situations. Playing in on the grass is Corbin, squaring to bunt, taking as the pitch goes high and outside. Morgan will have a 1-1 count. The first baseman, Evan Corbin, is almost halfway between home and first, playing well in on the grass. At third base is Jordan White protecting the bag there. Squaring to bunt. There's a strike that drops in for Takahashi. He'll make it a 1-2 count against Morgan. Corbin still playing in on the grass even with 2 strikes and squaring to bunt. It'll go back to the mound. They throw to third, and they will get the out at third base. Ball 1. Scoreless ball game here in the bottom of the second. North Medford threatening. Pitch hits the outside corner for Takahashi. Takes it to a 1-1 count. Again, Easton Curtis, the 9-hitter and left fielder. Corbin playing in on the grass at first and pulled back. 2-1 for Curtis. Curtis has not shown a bunt, but Corbin playing in just in case with 1 out. Roseburg looking for a ground ball they can try and turn 2 with. This one instead will be a line drive right side, just foul down that right field line. Curtis chopping at that pitch, send it just over the head of Evan Corbin at first base and just hooked enough to get into foul territory. And that would have easily brought in a run for North Medford if it had been fair. A throw to second base. Back in safely goes Carr. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes for Easton Curtis. Takahashi, a strikeout here would be big for him. Ooh, didn't miss by much on the 2-2 pitch, and it will go full. Top of the order waiting on deck for North Medford. 3-2 pitch inside, and the bases are loaded with the top of the order, Johnny King, coming up the bat. For Takahashi, that is his second walk issued. Davis Carr to third, Colton Morgan to second, Easton Curtis at first. Roseburg will play in on the corners. Johnny King, good speed, smart player, will stand in. Grounded out to shortstop his first time up. He'll take strike one. Talk trying to get through things here in this second inning. Needs 2 more outs. He'll get a strike on a breaking ball as King, he knew it. Wasn't happy with himself to let that pitch go by. Stands back in with the 0-2 count. Gets him to swing. Takahashi with a big strikeout against the leadoff man, Johnny King. Second strikeout for Takahashi in the ball game. 2 away, and it's Aiden Horsley that will stand in. Last time, first pitch swinging, grounded it to first baseman Evan Corbin for the out. There's 2 down. Chopper, third base side, foul. Starts out with the 0-1 count here for Horsley. Haven't given you the defensive alignments. We'll try and get those here coming up in the third inning. A scoreless ball game right now in the bottom of the second. 0-1 pitch to Aiden Horsley. Fouled away. Got him in on the hands with the breaking ball. Fouled towards the softball field down the right side. Here from Jim McAbee Field in Medford. Austin Takahashi with an 0-2 pitch. Ground ball towards third base. Backhanded on the short hop by Jordan White, and he will make the play at third. Roseburg gets out of a bases-loaded jam, and North, they leave 3 runners on base. It's still scoreless as we go to the top of the third on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
Top of the third inning. Today's ball game brought to you by Chuck Swarman Family Auto Repair. Are you ready to go where life takes you? Video streaming online brought to you by the Cow Creek Tribe. Here from Medford, we'll be back at home where at least I can bring a heater with me a little bit easier in the booth at Champion Car Wash Field. We'll be back at home for a doubleheader against South Eugene on Saturday to start the second half of conference play. Roseburg will have the 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up here against Aiden Horsley, who has retired the first 6 straight. He misses just outside on his first pitch to Jordan White. Jordan White leading things off, the third baseman, making a nice stab at third to finish things off in the bottom of the second to keep North Medford off the board. Big defensive play there. Working Roseburg out of a bases-loaded jam. That was quite 2-0 pitch here to White. Horsley works a strike on the outer half. Jordan White. No batting gloves, only he might have full sleeves on. They're just pushed up. I'm not sure, but boy, he looks like he'd be cold. But I think everybody that's not currently in the ball game is probably shivering a bit. It's a cold one here in Medford. 2-2 pitch, and just got a piece of that one. Jordan White will stay alive. That foul ball catching the catcher. Jeremiah Robbins gives us a break in the action. We'll run around the diamond here for you. It is Robbins behind the plate. Kellen Willer at first base. Johnny King at second. At third base, Colton Morgan, and at shortstop, Frankie Rutigliano. In the outfield from left to right, Easton Curtis, Trey Newman, and Davis Carr. Your starting defense for the Black Tornado. Out of his windup, Horsley, to White. Ground ball up the middle. Rutigliano takes it on the high hop. Bobbled just a bit. Will throw low to first, but Willer, no problem with that one, handling it at the bag. Rutigliano, a little bit of an issue trying to get that ball out of the glove. Almost dropped it looked like. But he hangs on and makes the play. One down for Noah Fisk, who had his best day at the varsity level on the weekend. First pitch, he gets a fister towards second in front of Johnny King, and King makes the play. There's 2 away. Noah swinging at the first pitch, didn't give me a chance to let you know. Over the weekend against Willamette, he was 4 for 6, scored 3 runs and had 3 RBI. Big day for him at the plate against the Wolverines. Brings us to the 9-hitter, Hunter Fullerton. Trying to get something going for Roseburg here to start out this ball game. Swings and misses for strike 1. Roseburg so far not been able to get a base runner against Horsley. Fullerton squared to bunt, takes outside, a 1-1 count. Horsley quickly off the mound to cover his position. A nice job there by the pitcher to be aware and smartly try to cover in front of home plate on that possible bunt attempt by Fullerton. A pitch outside by Horsley, 2 balls and a strike. These 2 teams will probably have some of the deeper pitching staffs in the conference this year. Horsley has looked good so far, and he's maybe 2 or 3 on the rotation. Swing and a miss for Fullerton, gives him a 2-2 count. Trey Newman and Rutigliano both pitching on Saturday against South Medford. Breaking ball, swing and a miss, strike 3, and that will finish things off here in the top of the third. We're running down to first. Well, I thought Fullerton thought it was a drop third strike. He ran down to first while North Medford was running off the field. The umpire will call it strike 3. And finish things off for Roseburg in the top of the third. So we'll go to the bottom of the third inning. Roseburg and North Medford in a scoreless ball game on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
One pitch back into this one, and Jeremiah Robbins leads things off in the third inning for North Medford with a single to center field. He walked in his first at-bat, gets a hit here in his second. For North Medford, 4th hit of the ballgame for the Black Tornado. 1 runner on. As standing in, Rutigliano, the cleanup man, will swing and foul off the first pitch for strike 1. Let's go ahead and pause 10 seconds for station identification. This is Roseburg Baseball on The Score. Takahashi fires in a strike to Rutigliano, who is 1 for 1 in the game. He's got an 0-2 count with a man at first and nobody out as we start the third inning for North Medford. Hitting 5 o'clock here from Medford. As strike 3 froze him at the plate. Rutigliano wasn't happy on the strike 3 call. I'm not sure many hitters are. That's the third strikeout for Takahashi. Gets the first out here in the third. And it's Kellen Willer that will bat. He struck out looking his first time up. 5 o'clock hour means we got college baseball starting here today. The Oregon Ducks are taking on the University of Portland Pilots. The ball fouled back to the netting, scaring a group of high school girls in front of us. Makes it an 0-1 count for Willer. So the Ducks are up in Portland to take on the Pilots, getting started right now. Oregon State is in Corvallis against Seattle today, starting just right now for both of those matchups. Low and outside, a 1-1 count for Willer. Congratulations once again to former Roseburg Indian and former Umpqua Community College Riverhawk, Jay Stoffel. There's a pitch high, 2-1 count. Stoffel, for a second time in as many weeks, has been named the Pac-12 Pitcher of the Week, was also named the D1Baseball.com Pitcher of the Week. That is just fantastic for that young man. It's a runner going, ground ball right side, gets into right field. Robbins will head around to third, and that is a nice hit and run there for North Medford. Willer sneaks that one inside first base and into right field. All the way up to third goes Robbins. No courtesy runner for him this time around, I don't believe. Yeah, that's still Robbins running for himself out there. So runners on the corners with one away, and Trey Newman will bat. He had a single to center his first time up. He takes just outside for ball one. So pretty cool there. I mentioned over the weekend, got a chance to go watch Jace throw against Stanford on Friday last week, and pretty special that the season that young man is having so far. 1-0 pitch is on the outside corner for a called strike to Trey Newman. Second inning in a row that North will have a man at third base. Takahashi trying to work through it here. Pop up, that one down the right side. Does look like it'll carry out of play, and it will. That's strike two for Newman. In the second inning, North was able to get the bases loaded with one out. But then Takahashi was able to get a strikeout, and they got a force out at third to finish it off. So he's trying to pitch through a little bit of another tough spot here. The 1-2 outside. Count evens up for Newman. North Medford has had the luxury of playing at home a lot this season. As out in front of a breaking ball, Newman gets a piece of it to stay alive. Starting out conference play, North Medford has only had to leave the confines of Medford once, playing at South Eugene. Haven't all been home games, but they haven't had to leave town. 2-2 pitch. Time was called as Takahashi was starting his delivery. Will not get credit for that 2-2 breaking ball. So we'll redo it on the 2-2 count here for Trey Newman. Ball fouled back. Toward center field. Eli Jacobs camping underneath it. Comes charging in. That ball not very deep. And at third base, Jeremiah Robbins will not try to test the arm of Eli Jacobs, who has thrown out runners at home this season. That ball caught, 2 down. Brings up Davis Carr, who is 1 for 1 with a single through the left side. Going opposite field for the lefty between short and third. He digs in with 2 outs and runners on the corners. We'll see if Willer at first decides to do any running here. Pitch just up as dirt goes popping off the glove of Parker Burke behind the plate. 1-0 delivery. Inside, gets by Burke, and he will not be able to track it down in time. And coming in to score is Jeremiah Robbins to make it a 1-0 lead for North Medford. 2 balls, no strikes for Carr. Up to second base goes Willer on the wild pitch. So 1-0, North Medford takes the lead. High and away. Takahashi falls behind. 3 balls, no strikes. Wind picking up significantly again here. It really hasn't ever stopped. 3-0 pitch in for a strike for Takahashi. So North had threatened through the first 3 innings, getting a man in scoring position every inning. Finally do get one to come across on a wild pitch. There's 2 outs and a swing and a miss, and actually a foul tip into the glove for strike 2. Takes it to a full count here for Austin Takahashi against the lefty Davis Carr. Hits a line drive, short hop, and gets picked up by Avery. He fires it across the diamond, and a little glove workout at short for the junior. Brooks Avery makes the snag on the short hop and fires across to get the final out. So North will get 1 run in here in the 3rd to take the lead, but that is all they're able to manage. 1 run on 2 hits. There were no Roseburg errors, and 1 runner left on base. Go to the top of the 4th. It's 1-0 North Medford on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.
Starting the 4th inning, Roseburg will start out the top of their lineup again. Second time through against Aiden Horsley. It's Austin Takahashi leading things off. Pitch bounces in front of the plate to lead off his at-bat. Today's game brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling, your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. Takahashi swings and misses. Tak grounded out to second base to start out the ball game on the first pitch from Horsley. There's 1-1, bounces again in front of the plate, and Horsley will have a 2-1 count. Horsley with 5 strikeouts through the first 9 batters for Roseburg. As we get a break in the action here. Taking a look at the Southwest Conference. Today you've got South Medford at Willamette for a single game, and it's pass. That could shake up some of the standings a little bit. North Medford and Roseburg are at the top at 1 and 2 right now in the conference standings. Roseburg trails North Medford by 1 game. A win here today would give the 2 teams equal records, but Roseburg would have at least the early tiebreaker in that series if Roseburg could come back from a 1-0 deficit here as we sit in the 4th inning. A chopper foul down the first base side for Takahashi. 2-2 count. North Medford number 10 in the latest OSA coaches poll. New one will be coming out next Monday. Roseburg was at number 6 in that poll. 2-2 pitch. Horsley misses low to Takahashi, and it's a full count. Now, the coaches poll is just for fun and just for conversation. The OSA Power Rankings, which determine seeding for the playoffs, Roseburg's at number 7, North at number 4. Takahashi fighting off a 3-2 pitch to the on-deck circle where Eli Jacobs tried to barehand it. Full count with nobody out, leading things off in the top of the 4th. Tak takes outside, and that'll be Roseburg's first base runner of the day. A walk by Horsley. So Roseburg gets a man on, trying to come back from a 1-0 deficit. They do bring in a courtesy runner for the pitcher. Takahashi was dealing with a hamstring injury, so they want to try and be as cautious with that as possible. They bring in Braden Russell to run at first. High and inside, Eli Jacobs. And his second at-bat. Jacobs struck out looking in the first inning. Strike from Horsley. Hits the outside corner. So Roseburg finally gets a runner on base here in the fourth inning. Trying to get that first hit still. Squaring to bunt. Jacobs pushes it, first base side. The only play is going to be to first. And just in time to get Jacobs. A flip from Horsley. Gets it to Willer in time. Russell moves up to second. And Roseburg will have a man in scoring position with one away on the sac bunt. Almost looked like it might have had a chance to be one of those bunts that just carries far enough past the pitcher, not enough to second base, and dies in no man's land on the infield. But Jacobs didn't quite get that much of it. But still, nonetheless, made it quite the foot race down the line. Jace Wilder digging in, 0 for 1 today for him. RBI opportunity. Takes a breaking ball for strike one. That curveball slicing right through the heart of the zone. Wilder, first day back after missing 2 over the weekend. He takes a strike this time on the inside corner. Great placement there by Horsley. Go, Bob. Wilder coming in, batting .238 on the season. 4 RBI, a chance to drive in one here. The 0-2 swings after it. Got him with 3 straight breaking balls. Strikeout will make it 2 away with a man at second base for Roseburg. 6 strikeouts now for Aiden Horsley through 3 2/3 innings. Evan Corbin will stand in. Roseburg's cleanup hitter looking to try and help out the cause here. Swings through a breaking ball as Horsley has gone to the bender to try and make his way through here in the 4th inning, and it has worked well for him so far. 0-1. He does fire another breaking ball, but that pitch misses inside. Roseburg Honda, buying a car can be a hassle, but at Roseburg Honda it's different. Customer satisfaction is their highest priority. Visit Roseburg Honda where they treat you like family because they are family. 1-1. Line drive foul, third base side. Corbin got around on the high heat a little bit quick there. That'll be strike 2. That was the first fastball out of Horsley in quite some time. He had been firing the breaking balls. He goes back to it, the pitch in the dirt behind the plate. Robbins, the all-conference catcher, able to keep that one in front of him. 2-2 count. Corbin with Russell out at second, an RBI chance to try and tie this game up. Breaking ball outside, and the count goes full. Top of the 4th inning and a 1-0 lead for North Medford. Roseburg with their best scoring opportunity so far in the contest. 3-2. Ball 4. Breaking ball ends up low. That started out in a real good spot. Finished low. That's feels like a tough pitch to take there for Corbin, but he does get the call. And Roseburg has runners at first and second with 2 away. Brings up Parker Burke, the catcher. With runners at first and second, we'll get an opportunity to try and, again, tie this one up for Roseburg. Takes high and away. Burke struck out, swinging in the 2nd inning. That was part of 4 straight strikeouts from Aiden Horsley, starting in the 1st, going through the 2nd inning. The 1-0 pitch, ground ball hit right side to a knee. King comes up with it and will retire Burke at first base to finish off the top of the 4th inning. So Roseburg unable to do any damage here in the 4th. No runs on no hits. There were no errors, and 2 men left on. Go to the bottom of the fourth, 1-0, North Medford in front on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
From a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to, by hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations, top of the hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Bottom of the fourth inning, a 1-0 lead for North Medford. Here from Jim Maccabee Field on the campus of North Medford High School. Corton Morgan, Easton Curtis, and Johnny King, 3 hitters due up. As a chopper right side, picked up by Fisk, makes the short throw over to Corbin. And that'll retire Colton Morgan. Grounds out to second on the first pitch here in the fourth. 1 away. Today's ball game brought to you by Flyaway Travel. When you get ready to take that dream trip, make sure you've got a travel agent in your corner. That's Travel Leader Flyaway Travel, 672-5701. Leader Flyaway Travel, 672-5701. 1 away. Easton Curtis will bat. He drew a walk in the second inning. The 9-hitter will stand in with 1 out and nobody on. Some activity going on the softball field. You can always hear when things are going on over there. Swing and a miss on the first pitch from Takahashi. Tak gives up the lead with 1 run allowed in the third inning. That ball fouled. Oh, that was crazy. I'm not sure if that might have hit off of that post there and then ricocheted off the top of the Roseburg dugout and then the press box. And that was interesting. 0-2 pitch from Takahashi, high and outside, a 1-2 count. In the third inning, North Medford getting a run on 2 hits, but it was a wild pitch that helped the runner come in as a swing and a foul ball. Curtis stays alive on a breaking ball inside, just managed to somehow drop the hands and get a piece of that one. 1-2 count. Tak misses outside. Well, normally when we make our trek down here to North Medford, we sit in the stands. The benches are black and usually got the sun barreling down on you. Ooh, look out. That pitch buzzes the tower for Takahashi, and the count goes full for Easton Curtis. So usually you're down here trying to keep cool, trying to stay out of the sun, throw on the sunshade, throw on some sunscreen. As a 3-2 pitch is high, and Takahashi walks the 9-hitter. Got out in front, but couldn't hang on to it there. A second walk for Easton Curtis. Third walk in the game for Takahashi. So it feels a little weird here to be bundled up and trying to stay warm here at North Medford today, because usually you're down here sweating your tail off. 1 out, top of the order. Squaring to bunt. King will put it down. Third base side. Takahashi fires over to Corbin. They get the out. Up to second base goes Curtis. There's 2 down. And it brings up Aiden Horsley to bat with a man at second base. So sacrifice bunt, moving a man into scoring position, but now they got to do the damage with 2 outs. First pitch away for Takahashi. So I mentioned that North has not really had to travel much lately. They had that one trip to South Eugene. Pitch low and outside. Burke, they've got him caught between. Pitch low and outside. Burke, they've got him caught between second and third, excuse me. Throw down to second, not going to be in time. Curtis back in safely. Burke had cut down the distance. Doesn't get it to Avery at second base in time. Two-0 count for Aiden Horsley. And he takes for ball 3. North played 5 straight home games to start out Southwest Conference play. And so far in April, they've only left the city of Medford once. There's a strike on the 3-0 pitch. They did play at Harry and David Field over the weekend on Saturday to take on South Medford. 3-1 delivery is high for ball 4. North Medford has runners at first and second. Brings up the catcher, Jeremiah Robbins. They will bring in a courtesy runner for the pitcher. I believe that was Dominic Daffrin. And that'll run at first. So that is runners at first and second. 2 away. Jeremiah Robbins, who is 1 for 1 in the game, stands in. Last time up had a line drive single to center field. Swings through the first pitch for strike 1. Two away. Roseburg needing one more to get through this 4th inning. Breaking ball. Got away from Burke. He'll come up throwing to third. That one backing up the play. Shortstop Brooks Avery able to hang on to that. Both runners moving up 90 feet now. So the pitch in the dirt. Knocked down by Burke behind the plate, but the runners both being aggressive, take off running. Burke got to it somewhat quickly, but fired to third and wasn't going to get a chance there. Breaking ball high to Robbins. 2 balls and a strike to the catcher. He scored the only run of the game on a wild pitch in the 3rd. 2-1 pitch from Talk. A ball in the air, but heading out of play. Evens up the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes for Jeremiah Robbins. Out of the windup for Takahashi. Gets another fly ball, but again, foul and out of play. Takahashi trying to win the battle here. He has faced runners in scoring position in every inning so far. His 2-2 pitch, again fouled away. That has been 3 straight pitches for Jeremiah Robbins that he has been able to kind of try and time up here, but has gotten just a piece of them. He's got a 2-2 count, and he'll take a breaking ball low. Is he hitting with a wood bat? This metal just has that look. Full count pitch here for Takahashi with first base open, and that'll be ball 4. So you've got the bases loaded. Second walk for Robbins. That battle was a good one. Takahashi had a couple of pitches that were pretty good, but Robbins got just a bit of them, fouling them away. Well, they will get a courtesy runner at first for the catcher. One again, that is Moore running at first. Bases are loaded with 2 down. It's the cleanup man, Frankie Retigliano, who is hit by the pitch, and a run will score. So that will bring in a run. Retigliano struck out looking his last time at the plate, but that one gets away from him. So Retigliano gets an RBI. It brings in a run for Medford. They lead 2-0. You've got the courtesy runner Daffrin at third, courtesy runner Moore at second, Retigliano on at first. Coming in to score was Easton Curtis, and it's 2-0. North hasn't necessarily done anything to drive in runs here today. They've benefited from a wild pitch and now a hit batter to bring in runs. And here in the fourth inning, you've had 3 walks issued by Takahashi. 3 walks and a hit batter. Five walks total for Takahashi in this one. And the University of Portland commit, he was the co-pitcher of the year last year in the Southwest Conference. It's been a little bit more of an effort for him this season as he tries to follow that up. And he's got a big spot here. He needs to try and get out of this jam. Still a big opportunity for North Medford to try and add to a 2-0 lead. Bases loaded with 2 outs. The 1-0 pitch is taken for a strike to Kellen Willer. Willer last time was behind on the pitch, went opposite field to first base and got one in. He ducks out of the way of a breaking ball. 2-1 count for Austin Takahashi. Roseburg needs one more out to get out of things. Swing and a miss. Willer goes chasing high and inside for the junior. 2-2 count. Bases loaded with 2 away. Swing and a miss, a ball in the dirt, and Burke will stomp on home to finish things off as he scoops that ball up. So the strikeout helps finish off things here in the fourth. One more run comes in for North Medford. They lead 2-0 as we head to the top of the fifth on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
At Douglas County Farmers Co-op, we want your four-legged friends to be healthy and happy. That's why we stock a carefully curated selection of pet, equine, and livestock supplies. From the premium foods your pets crave to grooming and show supplies that help you shine in the show ring, you'll find it at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our knowledgeable staff are here to help with those tough pet and livestock care questions. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
In baseball, home plate is always 60 feet 6 inches from the mound. But in life, sometimes your home plate needs to move. If you're planning to move, contact BTB Moving for help. BTB Moving is a labor-only company offering statewide services such as packing and unpacking, loading and unloading, piano moving, cleaning services, and 24-hour emergency services. BTB Moving is an affordable veteran-owned company. Call 541-315-0122 for help with your next move. BTB Moving for all your moving needs.
I think I'm ready to start the petition for the OSAA to move baseball season to the summer. This is chilly one today down here in Medford. Roseburg trying to get something going. 50 degrees as we start the fifth inning. 2-0 lead for North Medford. Brooks Avery will lead things off, and Avery will take low and inside for ball 1. Avery flew out to center in the second inning. So far, Aiden Horsley has allowed 2 base runners on 2 walks. That has been it. Pitch high and away. Avery will have a 2-0 count as we start the fifth inning here from Jim Maccabee Field in Medford, Oregon. Ground ball, third base side. Avery will get the first hit of the game for Roseburg. He gets on with a single through the left side, a ground ball that sneaks its way past the diving third baseman and the shortstop. Neither able to get in front of that one in time. And there is a hit for Roseburg. 1 on to lead things off here in the fifth. Just a 2-0 game, still well within reach for the Tribe here in the later stages. Jordan White will dig in. He grounded out to short his first time up. Making contact, just putting the ball in play is a big thing for Roseburg right now. They have 6 strikeouts through the first 4 innings. So with that hit, Brooks Avery continues a hit streak. He's now hit safely in 8 consecutive games. Scoring to bunt and unable to get it in fair territory. White will have a 1-1 count. Avery has definitely been coming along here down the stretch in this season for Roseburg. Played well defensively and done very well at the plate as well. But he has been filling in at shortstop for Takahashi for about the last 5 games, I believe, including today, and he's done a really good job at short. 1-1, White will try to bunt, throw down to first, not going to be in time. Avery in safely as White takes high and away for ball 2. Austin Takahashi also came into today with a hit streak. He had hit safely in his last 10 games. Obviously missing a few games in there, but his hit streak continues. He's looking to try and keep it going here today. That is a bunt back towards the mound. It is picked up by Horsley. Throws to first and in and out of the hand. Roseburg will try to argue that that might have been a drop at first base by Willer, but instead it's as he was trying to pull the ball out of his glove. He lost the handle on it, so it will be a sac bunt for Jordan White. One away, and Noah Fisk will bat. Fisk a ground out to second and hit corners, but this is an unfortunate sign at third base as that took a high hop off the infield there. That Noah Fisk, I believe, should get credit for a base hit on that one, beating out the infield single. And that keeps his hit streak going, 4 games now. But at third base, Brooks Avery limping around as he went sliding in feet first to third. Came in a little hot, caught the bag, and he's walking that off over there. Hopefully he'll be all right. As he walks off, looks like the right leg limping a little bit, but I think he's going to be good. Roseburg has runners on the corners with just 1 out, trailing 2-0. Their best opportunity to get a run here in the 5th, and it's going to prompt a visit out to the mound for the North Medford coaching staff. While we've got a break in the action, let you know today's game brought to you by Fisher's Hearth and Home, serving Douglas County for over 30 years with the largest selection of wood, gas, pellet, and electric stoves and fireplaces in the area. I could very much use a fireplace right now. That is for sure. I think something warm to eat or warm to drink is going to be in my future here coming up after this one here from North Medford. RBI opportunity here for Roseburg. They've got the 9-hitter Hunter Fullerton looking to try and drive home a run. If you're looking for somebody to help you as you drive to maybe a new home with a truck loaded with stuff, there's nobody better to call than BTB Moving. They'll provide the labor service your moving needs. They're veteran-owned and affordable, dependable, efficient, and careful. They have senior and veteran discounts available, so you can book now if you've got a move coming up here this spring or summer, whenever those seasons arrive. It sure doesn't feel like it now. But if you've got a move coming up, call BTB Moving to have them help you out. 541-315-0122. Find them on Facebook at BTB Moving. Fullerton will dig in. This could be a bunt opportunity for Roseburg here. Runners at first and second. Nothing. No. Grounder to short. Got to avoid the double play. They get 1 at second. Throw to first, and North will get out of the jam. And Roseburg unable to capitalize on a run. Fullerton rolls one right to shortstop. They go 6-4-3 on the double play to clear things here in the 5th. So we go to the bottom of the 5th, still 2-0. Medford in front as Roseburg. No runs, 2 hits. There were no North Medford errors, and 1 man left on base. We're through 4.5. The Black Tornado leading 2-0 here on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings edge to edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
My wife and I moved to Oregon to raise a family, set our roots, and to have a lot of fun outdoors. We quickly realized that we needed a truck or a rig for the projects that we were doing in our backyard. When we were looking to find a place to finance our truck, we asked our patients, and everyone recommended Cascade Community Credit Union. It was so easy to work with Cascade. Everything was done via email, phone, and we didn't even need to go in. I can't wait to finish up the projects in the backyard, go on more adventures in our truck with our boys, and I look forward to working with Cascade again in the future.
We get our first call to the pin, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be. Roseburg will make a change. Jordan White, the right-handed senior, will take over on the mound for Austin Takahashi. Tak will move to shortstop after being on the mound. Going from short to second will be Avery. And taking over at third base will be Jake Johnson. So coming out of the game will be Noah Fisk. Fisk will leave the game, but he did extend his hit streak but exits the game as a defensive replacement comes in for him. Trey Newman will lead things off against Jordan White, who will take over for Takahashi. First pitch from White hits the outside corner for strike one. Tak goes 4 and White hits the outside corner for strike one. Tak goes 4 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter. Missing outside. White will have a 1-1 count against Newman, who is 1 for 2 today. Not a bad outing for Takahashi for sure, but definitely some pitches he would have liked to have back. A couple of walks in there that I know probably eating him up a little bit. Outside. 2 balls and 1 strike for Newman. He'll chop one towards third. Short hop for Johnson. Throw to first, and it can't scoop it at the bag. Corbin swiping at it and it comes up empty. So that'll be a runner on at first for North Medford and the first error of the ball game for Roseburg. Johnson did a nice job of snagging that ground ball at third on the short hop, but throws low across the diamond, and Corbin unable to help him out on that end of it. Man on at first with nobody out. Davis Carr will show a bunt, and he puts it back to the screen for strike one. Carr is 1 for 2 today. For Jordan White, just his second appearance. He's only thrown 1 inning in relief this year. He's got a 1-0 record, but he's had limited opportunities to pitch this season. Roseburg's starting pitchers have gone very deep into games for the most part, so they haven't needed the bullpen a whole lot. Squaring to bunt again, offering. He can't make contact. That's strike 2 for Carr. Carr will have an 0-2 count. Newman on at first after the error to lead off things here in the 5th inning for North Medford. Runner going, throw to second base. Will not get there in time. Gets away from Takahashi as Burke had to throw from his knees. So 1-2 count. They didn't need to lay down the sack bunt to move a runner up. Newman gets himself into second and into scoring position on the stolen base. Nobody out. A 1-2 pitch coming up for Carr. Fouls the pitch off. Back to the street behind us. Today's ball game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop. A 1-2 pitch for White. He kicks and fires. Gets the strike on the inside corner to the lefty. Strikeout for Jordan White. Will be the first out here in the 5th inning. 1 away. The 8-hitter Colton Morgan steps in. 0 for 2 today. Reached on a fielder's choice in the second. A 2-0 lead for North Medford. They scored 1 in the 3rd and 1 in the 4th. A wild pitch and a bases-loaded hit batter bringing in runs. And Morgan will try to bunt his way, or at least move the runner up, but can't get that done. He puts it back behind home. Strike 1 for the third baseman. Morgan digs back in. Evan Corbin plays in on the grass, expecting another bunt attempt here. Jake Johnson in with his toes on the grass as well, and White will step off. Now Johnson has to remember he's due to cover third base in the case of a bunt with a runner at second. Swing and a miss. Morgan goes chasing after a breaking ball that carries into the left-handed batter's box. 0-2 count. Have not seen any action in the bullpen at all for North Medford. Pitch outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Aiden Horsley has done well. He's only given up the 2 hits, which both came in the top half of this 5th. So Roseburg had been struggling against the starter for North Medford throughout the matchup, but finally getting a little bit going. Pickoff throw to second. Avery there to cover, but the tag will not be in time. Out at second base is Trey Newman after reaching on an error to lead off things in the fifth. 1-2 pitch for Jordan White. Can't hit the outside corner, can't get the hitter to chase. The count goes to 2-2. One out, bottom of the fifth. Man at second base for the Black Tornado. Off speed, softly hit toward second base, and caught by Brooks Avery for the second out. White will get 2. And it brings up the 9-hitter. That's Easton Curtis, who has drawn a pair of walks, both against Austin Takahashi, the starter for Roseburg, who's now at shortstop. Curtis, the left fielder, scoring the second run of the game for North Medford. He hits one up the middle, and it gets into center field. Jacobs coming up. Their runner heading to the plate. The throw will not be there in time, and North will add another run here in the fifth. A 2-out single by Easton Curtis. His first hit of the game drives in another one for North. Scoring from second was Newman. And North Medford in control, 3-0 on top of Roseburg here in the fifth inning. Roseburg will be down to their final 6 outs to try and mount a comeback. Top of the order, Johnny King, 0 for 2 today. Swings, misses, the ball escaping Parker Burke, but the catcher tracks it down, and the runner will hold that first. And out to the mound, Burke, to have a conversation with White real quick here, make sure they're on the same page. Cloudy skies overhead. The sun is poking through a little bit through the hazy clouds. A chilly day here in Medford today. But it's been dry as the 0-1 pitch, instead a pickoff throw to first. Probably going to be seeing, I think it's supposed to be much different at home on Saturday when Roseburg will host South Eugene for a doubleheader. Well, at least we'll be a bit warmer, 65 on Saturday, with there is a chance for a little bit of precipitation in Roseburg coming up, but at least it'll be a little warmer. 0-1 pitch, swung on and missed. Pops away from Burke, can't get the runner going to second base. Curtis in safely. So man in scoring position, an 0-2 count for Johnny King, the second baseman. Swung through a couple of pitches so far. Oh-2 count for Jordan White, trying to wrap things up here in the bottom of the fifth. Leave a man stranded in scoring position. King goes down swinging, chasing the breaking ball high and inside for strike 3. So Roseburg gets through the fifth, but they do give up another run. 1 run on 1 hit. There was 1 error and 1 man left on base. We head to the top of the 6th inning. Roseburg trailing by 3 here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Top of the sixth inning here from Jim Maccabee Field in Medford. Today's game brought to you by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. It is a 3-0 lead for the Black Tornado. The Indians down to their final 6 outs to play with here. They'll have the top of the order, looking to try and finally start breaking through against Aiden Horsley, who has kept Roseburg's bats quiet through the first 5 innings, only giving up 2 hits. Top of the sixth here, Austin Takahashi leading things off, hits a grounder towards second to a knee. Johnny King comes up and fires to first to get Takahashi to lead things off. 1 away. Roseburg not been able to really find the gaps out there, and North Medford's been able to do that. 6 hits in the ballgame for North. Feels like a lot of times their ground balls have just found those empty spots. Roseburg's have been where the fielders have been able to catch them. Sometimes them's just the breaks. Roseburg had their best scoring opportunity in the 5th inning. Had runners at first and third with only 1 out, but a ground into a double play to finish off the inning. Roseburg missed out on the chance. 1-1 count here for Eli Jacobs. Fouled off the first pitch. Takes a breaking ball inside. Jacobs 0 for 1 with a sac bunt his last time up. He takes low from Horsley. Two balls and a strike. Horsley into his 6th inning of work. Gets a foul ball by Jacobs. A little bit out in front of the off-speed pitch there. The 2-2. Slow roller third base side. Foul ball. Ooh, nice play, though, at third by Colton Morgan. That ball right down the line, just into foul territory when Morgan got there in front of the bag. Scooped it up and launched across the diamond over to Willer over there at first. But that was a foul ball, so we'll redo it again. 2-2 pitch for Eli Jacobs. Swing and a miss. Ball in the dirt, tag applied. And there is strike 3. 2 down. That'll be strikeout number 7 on the day for Aiden Horsley. 2 down. Jace Wilder will try to get something started for Roseburg. Wilder so far has struck out twice, been chasing the breaking ball. He takes this one in the dirt for a 1-0 count. Jay's trying to get some things going after being, sounds like, pretty ill over the weekend. Just could not try and battle through it. The 1-0 pitch for Horsley out of his windup. Chopper up the middle. King in front of it. And sidearms one over to first. A 1-2-3 inning for Roseburg at the plate. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. We'll be down to their final 3 outs in the 7th with the heart of their order coming up. They'll try to keep it a 3-0 game as we go to the bottom of the 6th inning. North Medford coming up the bat on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Brook Communications radio stations have joined forces with the News Review and Lotus Web Services, announcing the Lotus Media Group, a multimedia enterprise. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen with Lotus Media Group, LLC.
Hayden Horsley stands in to lead things off for North Medford as we begin the bottom of the 6th inning. 3-0 lead for the Black Tornado. Jordan White on in relief for the Tribe. His second inning of work. Missed high on the first pitch. Misses outside to go to a 2-0 count here against Horsley, who is 0 for 2 in the game with a walk. Walks, an error, a couple of wild pitches, or a wild pitch and couple of wild pitches and a hit batter in there. Those have been kind of the big difference here. North has gotten hits, but it really has been the freebies by Roseburg that have been the bigger difference in this one. Takahashi was able to kind of pitch around a lot of those issues with the hits, but they were able to take advantage. Foul ball and high in the air in foul territory. Jordan White will make the catch in front of his own dugout. That'll retire Horsley on the sky-high foul ball. One away. White was there. Corbin was there. So was Burke, but White calling for it. Infielder by trade. He was able to handle that one. Almost overran it a bit, but he was able to snag it out of the air. One away with nobody on base. And it's Jeremiah Robbins who's had a nice day at the plate with 2 walks and a single. Takes the first pitch, strike 1. First time this portion of the order has seen Jordan White here today. And time has been called. Evan Corbin kind of went down, came to a stop awkwardly in foul territory on that foul ball by Horsley. And now the coaches come out of the dugout to talk to Corbin, make sure he's okay. And that definitely is... We talked about it with Coach Thompson to start the game. Talked about that with Coach Thompson about injuries and just staying healthy and how important that is for a team. Getting Takahashi back and Wilder back today, that's big. Corbin would be that's a guy they can't afford to lose either. 0-1 pitch to Robbins. He takes a breaking ball on the outside corner to go to an 0-2 count. 3-0 game right now. North Medford in front in the bottom of the 6th. Breaking ball from White high and away. Roseburg will have Corbin to lead things off in the top of the 7th as they try to come back. A 1-2 pitch. That one golfed. First base side, it'll be Brooks Avery meeting there with Evan Corbin. And the second baseman makes the play. That's good. There would have been nobody at first really to be able to get the ball there too to try and get Robbins for the out. And so it's a good thing they made the catch on the right in the edge of the outfield grass. 2 away with nobody on base. The cleanup man Frankie Rutigliano will be coming up. Takes outside. For Roseburg, it's Corbin, Burke, and Avery. The 3 batters due up in the top of the 7th inning. They're hoping it'll be a 3-0 deficit that they have to deal with as a big swing and a miss out of Rutigliano. And he has himself a 1-1 count way out in front of a breaking ball from White. Gets underneath the pitch. The 1-1 driven to right field. Wilder coming in and makes the catch. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for Jordan White. And he keeps it a 3-0 deficit. Roseburg's got to get the offense going as we head to the top of the 7th here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
From a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to, by hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations. Top of the Hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Deciding where to purchase your next vehicle is just as important as the vehicle itself. At Roseburg Honda, our seasoned staff is dedicated to matching you with the right car. From sales to service, our goal is to make sure all of your needs are met, and you leave our dealership feeling good every time you visit. No need to waste your valuable time driving up and down the freeway when the ultimate car buying experience is right here at home. Roseburg Honda. We treat you like family.
Top of the seventh inning, Roseburg baseball down to their final 3 outs. They've got Evan Corbin to lead things off, Parker Burke, and Brooks Avery. 3 batters that are going to try and keep things going and get something started for the Tribe. Aiden Horsley will remain on the mound. Out of his windup, his first pitch to Corbin is in for a strike. Evan Corbin is 0 for 1 with a strikeout and a walk. Roseburg with just 2 hits in the ball game against Horsley. Breaking ball for a strike. And Horsley has found himself a groove here today. Is 0-2 for Corbin. Foul tipped, staying alive by just a piece. 2 hits in the game. Brooks Avery has one of them. Noah Fisk has the other. The 2 middle infielders from earlier. Fisk has come out of the game. The 0-2. Corbin swings through it for strike 3. Breaking ball has been a payoff pitch for Horsley here today. 8th strikeout in the game for the North Medford starter. He'll face Parker Burke, who's 0 for 2. So if the score holds here, we'll take a look at how the standings will work out as a pitch outside to Burke. 1-0 count. Roseburg will be tied with either Grants Pass or Sheldon in the loss column. As a strike across, Burke a 1-1 count. Grants Pass and Sheldon face off today. They both are 4-3 in league play. Pitch low, 2 balls and a strike. Roseburg would have more in the win column, but they would be tied in the loss column with both Grants Pass or Sheldon, either one, whichever comes away as a winner here today in that matchup between the Irish and the Cavemen. 2-1 to Burke. It's low. He's got himself a 3-1 count. Three-1 count for Aiden Horsley. And he misses well outside. Burke will draw a walk. It's not enough to really... It's not enough for Roseburg to just get a walk, obviously, but the runner at first does not represent a game-tying run or go-ahead run. They would have the game-tying runner as the on-deck hitter at the moment. Man at first and a visit out to the mound here for the North Medford staff. It might be a change coming up for the Black Tornado. They did have somebody thrown in the bullpen. Courtesy runner coming on for the catcher, Parker Burke. And it looks like we might get a change here coming up. If that's it for Aiden Horsley, he has tossed one heck of a game here today. He has held Roseburg in check and limited a lot of the damage. I believe that was just his 3rd walk issued in the ballgame. He retired the first 9 batters straight, and he is actually going to stay in the game. No change made just yet. North did have somebody throwing, so they'll have somebody ready if needed. But right now, Roseburg needs to put some pressure on for North to, I guess, make the change. Brooks Avery will stand in. He's 1 for 2 today. I believe it's Brevin Harrison running at first for Parker Burke. Fastball inside to Avery. Horsley working out of his stretch, kicks and fires. Gets a fastball on the outside corner. A 1-1 count for Avery. Avery got the first hit of the game for Roseburg in the 5th inning. A roller through the left side between short and third. A 1-1 to him. A ground ball up the middle this time. It could do it. A go to the bag, throw to first. Double play. Retigliano over to Willer, and that will finish off the ball game. Roseburg gets shut out for just the second time this season, and North Medford will remain in first place, build a little bit of a comfortable lead after the first time through the conference season. They will have a 2-game lead on Roseburg, and either Grants Pass or Sheldon will be right there in the mix as well as we make our way through one half of Southwest Conference play. Final score 3-0, North Medford the winner here from Jim Maccabee Field. We'll take a 3-minute timeout and come back with the postgame show to wrap this one up for you today here on a chilly Tuesday in Medford on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Working from a hot tin shed, Paul W. Klipsch, genius and maverick, designed and hand-built his first commercial loudspeaker with the intention of bringing live music right into your living room. Today, we still make them like we used to. By hand, with passion, with pride. Klipsch Heritage Loudspeakers.
Give Klipsch Heritage speakers a listen at Good Vibrations, top of the hill, Northeast Stevens in Roseburg.
Find everything you need to enjoy the outdoors, at home or on the road, at Douglas County Farmers Co-op. Our garden center has what you need to create an oasis at home, from patio furniture to plants and everything in between. And whether you're barbecuing at home or tailgating at the game, we stock the best products from Yeti, Traeger, and Weber. Stop by or shop online at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
You gotta like it. Yep. All right, man. Good to talk to you. Yep.
Well, it was a bit of a tough one tonight for the Roseburg Indians on the road against an extremely good talented North Medford club. Should be a fun doubleheader when the two teams meet in Medford, coming up to finish out the regular season, or at least finish out the league season here a little bit later on in the month of May. That should be a pretty good one coming up in just a few weeks from today. But as for today's matchup, still a very good game, a tight one here where it was just some of the small things in this one today that proved to be the difference for North Medford. They win it 3-0. Taking a look at the numbers, no runs, 2 hits, 1 error for Roseburg. For North Medford, 3 runs, 6 hits, and no errors for the Black Tornado. Getting the win is Aiden Horsley, who pitches a complete game. 7 innings, gave up No runs on 2 hits, 3 walks, and 8 strikeouts. On the other side, Austin Takahashi takes the loss, pitched 4 innings, gave up 2 runs on 5 hits, 5 walks, 4 strikeouts, and 1 hit batter. North Medford scored in the 3rd inning. They challenged Roseburg. They had a runner in scoring position in every inning except for the 6th. Takahashi was able to pitch around it through the first 2 innings, but in the 3rd inning, Jeremiah Robbins got all the way to 3rd base. And with 2 outs, with 1 out, he was able to score on a wild pitch that brought him in. And that would be all that North would get in the 3rd inning, but they would add another run in the 4th on a bases-loaded hit-by-pitch that came with 2 outs. And so that was another spot where a wild pitch and then a hit batter bring in 2 runs for North Medford in this one. Finally, North would drive in a run with a hit in the 5th inning. Came with 2 outs. Easton Curtis, a single up the middle to drive in Trey Newman, who actually reached on an error in that 5th inning. That was against Jordan White, who pitched the final 2 innings, gave up the 1 run on 1 hit, no walks, and 2 strikeouts. So it was a game of inches pretty much here today. On the other side, Horsley held Roseburg in check. Roseburg had a runner in scoring position only twice in this ball game, but both times Horsley was able to get out of the jam. He did induce 2 inning-ending double plays that were big for the Black Tornado. So North Medford gets the 3-0 win. They'll improve to 12-2-1 on the season. They are now 8-1 in conference play. Roseburg goes to 13-4 on the season and 6-3 in conference play. They'll be tied in the loss column with either Grants Pass or Sheldon, whichever comes away as a winner in that matchup from Grants Pass here today. And North will have a lead on the rest of the conference after the first half of conference play. So that is how this one works out here today. Taking a look at the offensive numbers for Roseburg, just 2 hits in the ball game. Brooks Avery had 1. He was 1 for 3. Noah Fisk was 1 for 2 in the game. They both extend hit streaks. Avery now at 8 games, Fisk at 4. Austin Takahashi had missed 4 games for Roseburg. He got back in the lineup today, did not get a hit. His 10-game hit streak comes to an end. On the other side for North Medford, they finished with 6 hits in the ball game. Let's see here. Jeremiah Robbins was 1 for 2 with 2 walks and a run scored. Frankie Retigliano was 1 for 3 with a RBI. Kellen Willer was 1 for 3 with 2 strikeouts and a single. Trey Newman was 1 for 3 with a single and reached on an error and scored a run. Davis Carr was 1 for 3. And then Easton Curtis was 1 for 1 with 2 walks and an RBI single and a run scored. So that's a look at how this one played out here today. It was another pretty good pitching duel and a tight battle between 2 good teams. Should lead to another fun one coming up later on in the season when Roseburg hosts North Medford for a doubleheader to finish out the regular season on May 13th. Coming up next for North Medford, they will be on the road at Sheldon. That is 1 week from today. They've got this weekend off, so they are going to be gearing up for a showdown against the Irish coming up next Tuesday. For Roseburg, they've got a doubleheader at home this weekend against South Eugene. Looking forward to that one as we get the second half of conference play underway. Roseburg will have not this coming weekend, but the weekend after that. That is their weekend off as the rest of the conference will catch up. So Roseburg will look to turn things around. Not a bad performance here today, but got to get a little bit more offense against some of the great pitching that they're going to be seeing through the rest of the conference slate. As we wrap it up here today, we want to say thanks to North Medford for a great battle here at Jim McAbee Field this afternoon. I want to say thanks to Athletic Director Russ Bolin and Head Coach Troy Thompson for allowing us to bring you another season of Roseburg baseball here on The Score. Want to say thanks to Brenton Cranford back in the studio for the radio production here tonight. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Kieran. We'll catch up with you coming up on Saturday when Roseburg hosts the South Eugene Axe for a doubleheader starting at noon. We'll have coverage getting started at 11:45 Saturday afternoon. If you want more baseball action and you're in the Roseburg area, South Umpqua and Umpqua Valley Christian are playing at Champion Car Wash Field. They're through 5 innings of play. South Umpqua leading 2-1 over UVC, a couple of teams that have played in state championship games here recently. So that would be a fun one to be there at Champion Car Wash Field. As for us, we are going to wrap things up. We'll talk to you coming up next this Saturday when Roseburg hosts South Eugene for a doubleheader from Champion Car Wash Field. We'll be there for you. We'll have coverage starting at 11:45. You can tune in and watch the action streaming live online at 541radio.com and right here on Douglas County's home for sports, The Score, 92.1.